new Sonata from Hyundai.
Neil Lane designs for Hollywood's biggest stars.
Let's have a look.
Who is it for?
It's for Becky.
She must be important.
Oh, she is.
Now he designs for the star in your life.
Becky, will you marry me?
Neil Lane Bridal. Uniquely beautiful, handcrafted rings from Hollywood's master of vintage glamour. At Kay Jewelers, the #1 jewelry store in America.
Every woman should feel like a star.
Every kiss begins with K.
Duke, Syracuse, 35,000 fans, the hottest ticket in college basketball. Tyler Ennis and the #2 Orange are fighting to stay perfect. Jabari Parker and the #17 Blue Devils are shooting for the upset. Tonight, they'll rock the Carrier Dome. Duke, Syracuse, tonight at 6:30 on ESPN. The home court of college hoops.
Let's go.
Some things just go together, like auto and home insurance. Bundle them together at Progressive, and you save big on both. Hey, it's me! And there's my dog! There's my steps! I should stop talking. Perfectly paired savings. Now that's Progressive.
We use this board to compare car insurance rates side by side, so you get the same coverage, often for less.
It's one smart board. What else does it do? Reverse gravity? Split atoms?
Hey, how's that atom splitting thing going? Oh!
A smarter way to shop around. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
Our Super Bowl edition of Sunday NFL Countdown.
Both articles taught me a lot about my father, things that made me very proud to be his son.
Mort sits with Peyton Manning.
I guess I have found myself, getting a little more emotional. I think it's just something about being a father.
How having a family of his own has changed the Bronco QB. And a Caliendo collaboration.
We thought the Red Zone was just a TV channel.
Jason Garrett is our head coach today.
Frank's take on how Richard Sherman's riding his newfound fame all the way to the White House. Sunday Countdown 10 to 2 on ESPN.
And of course, after the game on ESPN, NFL Primetime comes your way. Boomer, TJ, and Steve Young, the Glenville Gladiator, breaking down and analyzing every important aspect of Super Bowl 48. You can also check it out on Watch ESPN.
Wilson pump fakes. Now he's got a scramble fake. Gets a man off his feet. Russell steps up. Pump fakes. He's going to launch.
Right. Looks left.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Pump fake is just, you got to sell it. You got to make it look real. So sometimes you just got to give it to them and give them big eyes and make it look real and make people look foolish, to be honest with you. It's hard because they want to get their hands up and try to block the ball down or try to sack you, and then you give them that illusion of, I'm about to throw it right here, and you go right by him.
Well, maybe Wilson can use that pump fake to shake his recent slump in terms of yards. Over his last 6 games, he's thrown just 5 touchdowns. Since Week 14, he ranks just 29th in the league in total QBR out of all those players that have played the position. Make no mistake about it, this is a run-first team. Seattle calls for a design run on 46% of its plays, second most in the NFL. Beast mode over 100 yards, though, in each playoff game. And after playing just 33 snaps, Percy Harvin healthy and ready to rumble. Seahawks receivers ranked just 29th in targets this year, but were second in yards per catch.
Most teams, try to fill the box and stop our running game because of Marshawn and our offensive line and what they can do. And, I look forward to that if that's the case. And, you know, that's pretty much every week.
We feel like we're more valuable than a lot of receiver groups in the league because we can also, not only can we go out and catch the ball and run great routes, but we can also block. We can also go out on special teams, be very effective and efficient for this team. So we feel like our value is appreciated here.
A healthy Percy Harvin means a lot to us. He's so explosive in terms of his speed and the things that he can do in terms of special teams and all that.
My body is feeling very, very fresh. You know, I think that you can see that in my practice films and things like that. So it's definitely it's going to be unique to see how they come out there and line up to some of our sets.
All right, so the road to MetLife for Seattle based largely on defense and turnovers and that 12th man, which of course carried them through those 2 postseason games at home as well. But the offense, Mark, has played their part, specifically Marshawn Lynch. As we said, over 100 yards and at least 1 score in both playoff games. What has made beast mode so beast mode-y?
Well, I think first and foremost,
that's a scientific term.
Yeah, the guy is huge. I mean, you think of him as a power runner, and he has that aspect. He never stops. He's never tackled. Most of the time, they doesn't even go to the ground. But he's got exceptional vision and exceptional quickness. Now, you see the crack coming down from the outside. That's Kearse. He knows that's coming. He has that vision. The little stutter step right there, stiff arm, and right by. A guy that you expect to run over you. Look at him. Put his foot in the ground. Backside. That backside is held right there. He gets to the backside. Now, look at this step right here. Bumping an offensive lineman. Reed coming down right there. I'll go this way.
See ya.
That kind of quickness, that kind of acceleration, that kind of just elusiveness. There's nobody in the business right now like him. And as Teddy always says, the toughest tackle in football right now, because that's his quickness right there. That's his vision on display right now. But he'll put his head down, and he'll just run over you at the same time.
Well, I've said it again this week, and watching that, it bears repeating. Nobody ever really tackles him. They just stop his forward progress. He very rarely actually gets to the ground. The refs just say, okay, there's 8 people on you. That's enough. Teddy, so let's look at Russell Wilson. Earlier this week on NFL Live, Trent said the best thing that he appreciates about Russell is his eyes and how he steers the defense away. What must he do well, in your opinion, for them to win Sunday?
Well, he's going to have to do more than just hand the ball to Marshawn Lynch, although Lynch is a huge weapon. But Russell Wilson is going to be asked to make throws as a traditional quarterback, a pure quarterback. It's going to be a goal of the Denver Broncos to keep him right there so he doesn't have the ability to improvise. These are throws and decisions he's going to have to make. He's going to have to do a better job of being a traditional quarterback. When he can improv, be a quarterback that can get out and create things with his legs to throw the ball, he can do that. But throws from the pocket, when he has it and he's clean on the spot like he is in these examples, the rush is being contained, he's being held in the pocket, decides to stay there, makes inaccurate throws that can get intercepted. This is where I think he can struggle. Traditional offense, play action passes, throws right down the middle of the field when he doesn't have the ability to improvise and use his pump fake like he was talking about, but just forced to be a quarterback to stay there on that spot. Read the defense on a critical third down and 10, third down and 8. He's going to have to make those throws. Can he do that? If he can, that can spell victory for the Seahawks.
And a big part of those throws could be Percy Harvin, of course, did not play in the conference title game after getting the concussion in the first half of the divisional win over the Saints. And if you take a look at Harvin, as a team, the Seahawks ranked 28th in the NFL this season in yards after catch. Harvin would certainly help. He led the NFL in yards after catch, or YAC, per game in 2012 with the Vikings. He averaged more yards after the catch in 2012 than Golden Tate, Doug Baldwin, and Jermaine Kearse combined in 2013. So, Teddy, he's there. He says he's healthy enough. He's ready to roll. What will his impact on offense be?
Yeah, even if he isn't healthy enough, him on the field, he will have an immediate impact based on what the defense has to do to the multiplicity of the places he can line up along the offensive formation. He can be in the slot. He can be outside. He can be in the backfield. Once you break the huddle defensively, you know the kind of talent and explosion this guy has. He must be accounted for as a linebacker. Do you use defensive ends to chip him on the way to the rush if he's releasing out of the backfield? Communicating with your third corner to double him in the slot. That type of communicative effect right there immediately with Percy Harvin be on the field, it will be felt.
Well, here's why Percy Harvin is really critical. We all know beast mode is great. Since 2001, we've had 12,000-yard rushers play on Super Bowl Sunday. We'll have 2 more with no Sean Moreno and Marshawn Lynch, but Lynch has been the more powerful runner. Only 2 of those 12 previous to this game went on to run for at least 100 yards in the big game, and both were in losing efforts. Frank Gore last year with San Francisco and Thomas Jones against Peyton's Colts in Super Bowl 41. When we continue here on NFL Live breaking down all the units, what about the defenses? Not only Richard Sherman and everybody in Earl Thomas, but what about the Denver D and Pot Roast?
Road to MetLife Stadium is brought to you by MetLife. On February 2nd, all roads lead to MetLife Stadium. Join the conversation at #Road to MetLife Stadium.
They told me it couldn't be done, that I was the lost cause. I was picked on and picked last. Coach didn't know how to talk to me. They gave up on me. Told me I should just quit.
And the last pick is...
They didn't call my name. Told me it was over. But I've been deaf since I was 3. So I didn't listen. And now I'm here with a lot of fans in the NFL cheering me on. And I can hear them all.
You're everywhere can be your wildest dream. Or rise from the battle within. A challenge to push yourself further. Your everywhere can be anywhere. It's not a place on any map. It's a place you reach in life. Visa. Everywhere you want to be.
Research suggests cell health plays a key role throughout our lives. One A Day Men's 50 Plus is a complete multivitamin designed for men's health concerns as we age, with 7 antioxidants to support cell health. One A Day Men's 50 Plus.
Introducing the new Fritos Chicken Enchilada Melt at Subway.
Wait a minute, the Fritos go on the sub?
Cruncha Mancha on that. With tender pulled chicken, authentic enchilada sauce, and Fritos corn chips on top.
New Fritos Chicken Enchilada. Subway. Eat fresh.
Hey Cam, thanks a lot for coming to my school today.
No problem, Nate.
I promise to exercise and eat right.
Don't forget 60 minutes of play a day, right?
And I'll grow up to be big and strong like you.
Absolutely.
And play in the NFL.
Yes, sir.
And be drafted #1.
Maybe.
Become a starting quarterback of the Panthers.
Okay.
You can be my backup.
Excuse me?
And make Panthers fans forget about you. And become your mom's favorite player.
Whoa.
I'm just loosening my arm.
It's the biggest game on the biggest stage. Super Bowl 48 in New York. SportsCenter, in a New York state of mind. Live on site all week. And Super Sunday, we kick off the fun on Sunday NFL Countdown. Then NFL Prime Time wraps it all up after the game. Super Bowl 48 in New York, all week on ESPN.
Fan Cam is brought to you by Macy's. In 1924, Macy's Herald Square store became the world's largest store, spanning a full city block.
It's not only the world's biggest store, but we've got the fan cam out here at Herald Square. Always glad to have the Macy's fan cam with us, showing us the faithful that have showed up and been with us all week long here on NFL Live from our premier location on Super Bowl Boulevard in Herald Square. There's the Macy's fan cam. The Chargers sure are not in this game.
Legion of Boom, incoming thump.
What impresses me about the Seahawks secondary, the energy they play with.
Everybody is around the ball. They are always around the ball carrier.
How aggressive they are.
It is intercepted by Richard Sherman.
Not just their cornerbacks, but their safeties are always around the football. They're loaded with all pros back there. You can tell that this is something that they've enjoyed playing their whole lives, and then they found a bunch of guys that they enjoy playing with.
Well, the Seahawks are the first team since the '85 Bears. They were pretty good to lead the league in total defense, scoring defense, and takeaways. Seattle, though, faced only one team all season that finished in the top 10 offensively. That was the Saints, and as Drew Brees found out, they handled them pretty well.
Peyton Manning's numbers speak for themselves. I think he's one of the best in the history of the game, and I think he's broken multiple records to prove that. And he's a living legend right now. He's been a living legend for years.
You know, if I could get a good hit on him, he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. That'd be a great thing to be able to accomplish and to have in your resume, I guess.
He don't like people around his feet, and you know, when you start getting close to him, he start panicking and stuff like that. So we just got to do a great job of playing assignment football.
Peyton Manning, at this point, doesn't really matter to us for him to beating him. It's about just doing it for our teammates and going out there and doing it for this team, doing it for this organization, doing it for Pete, doing it for all these guys that put all this time in to be good players and appreciate their time.
We love this challenge because whenever you compete against somebody that's that great, it calls for you to be great as well. And so it'd be a great matchup, I hope.
All right, we all hope it's a great matchup, and the last few Super Bowls have been great matchups. But, Teddy, let's talk about this matchup now of Peyton going up against that defense. No one has really slowed Peyton down all year. There were a couple games where he wasn't off the chart spectacularly good. So what's the most important element of the Seahawks secondary going to do against Manning?
Well, we've talked about pre-snap adjustments. We've talked about post-snap communication. Now, after all of that is done, if there's one positional group that really needs to shine versus Peyton Manning, it's the safety position. And the Seattle Seahawks have two of the best in the business, and they're going to have different roles. It's going to be Cam Chancellor and Earl Thomas. Earl Thomas here playing center field. I promise you, if a ball is tipped in the air like that, Earl Thomas will come down with it. Cam Chancellor, his role is going to be coming down in the box, being physical, and being on Julius Thomas. Just like he was able to match up on Jimmy Graham there, he is going to be one of those guys that need to do that. And the free safety type of ability, the center field ability of Earl Thomas, you see him breaking on that route even before the route is finished. And then this is classic Seattle Seahawks defense. The three buzz that they run, the form of it, when the outside defender buzzes out to the flat and takes away those quick underneath throws to the sideline, the safety position for the Seattle Seahawks is going to be crucial. Once the communication is done, once the adjustments are made, those two players, those are going to be the one that have to make huge plays to stop Peyton Manning.
All right, Mark, as you see this matchup, what's the hardest matchup in your opinion?
Well, I think there's a couple of things. Number one, they've got people on the Denver Broncos that are transcended. They transcend the game. Peyton Manning does, Wes Welker does, and the beneficiary of that has been Demaryius Thomas because he has taken it to the next level with his route running ability, his ability to separate at the top. His little stabs, he gets guys guessing on none other. He is so big, strong, and physical, and he creates just by the way he runs his routes. And this is because of Peyton Manning. This is because of Wes Welker. He finds a way to get open, use that physical body, and once he so physical that you're not quite ready for the speed, the separation, quick speed that he has. And that's something that he has done, and he has gotten guys turned around. And then, again, here's a great route inside. Give your quarterback room to the outside to throw the ball. Give sideline space so that your quarterback can get it to you in space and let you run to basically throw him open. And he's done a great job from a route running combination standpoint and getting separation on a consistent basis.
No question, and a major focus of the Broncos during this postseason run has been their defense, and they're going to have to be at their best to stop Marshawn Lynch in beast mode. As we said, already over 100 yards in each of his games. The Broncos' interior run stuffers in the regular season, they were pretty good, ranking first in the NFL and allowing just 3.2 yards per middle up the rush. And of course, in the playoffs, we've seen Terrence Knighton, aka Pot Roast, come up with some really big plays. So, Teddy, when you look at this matchup on the interior, Lynch against that front of the Denver D. Look, Marshawn Lynch through the last 6 games of the regular season didn't have a 100-yard game, and then 2 straight in the postseason. How does Denver get him back to those last 6 games of the regular season?
Well, in order for Danny Trevathan and Wesley Woolyard to be able to succeed and get those tackles on Marshawn Lynch, he's going to have that big, solid presence in the middle, which is Terrence Knighton. Linebackers need him to be there, to be stout in the run. You see Wendell, the Patriot center, trying to block him one-on-one. It can't be done. This is the type of play that's going to be necessary from Terrence Knighton. taking on blocks, all right, moving down the line of scrimmage, shedding blocks here, Stink, like he does here, shedding the Kansas City Chief offensive lineman. He won't fill up the stat sheet. He won't be the MVP, okay? He may not make a tackle for a loss like this right here, but as long as he occupies blocks and lets his linebackers run free, that's his job. You won't hear his name, but you'll recognize, especially the linebackers, they'll recognize the job that he's doing, and that's why they'll be able to succeed.
Well, hopefully, if Danny Trevathan is correct, they'll recognize his game a lot. Well, again, a bold prediction early from Danny Trevathan. We'll see if that plays out. And speaking of bold predictions, ladies and gentlemen, when we continue from Herald Square with all our fans out here, as they say in the big city, go big or go home.
And we do that.
We went big, stepping up our game for this big game.
This is not easy going up these stairs.
I don't know about you, my calves are getting an exceptional burn. I'm glad I didn't work out this morning. I shouldn't have had that pizza for breakfast.
Are watching a special Super Bowl edition of NFL Live from New York City, presented by Macy's.
Save on the hottest flooring styles at Lumber Liquidators Exotic Flooring Sale. Get hand-scraped exotic, Brazilian cherry, and more, all on sale. And Brazilian redwood for up to 32% less than other stores. Plus, get laminates from 49 cents and special financing. Sales going on now at Lumber Liquidators.
Lewis never smiles.
Kiss the rainbow, taste the rainbow.
Captain's log, day of departure. After a short time at sea, our crew seems to be settling in. Earlier, a small mutiny broke out, but I put it to rest.